Hey guys, today I want to do a video that is on a subject that I think is important for most of our clients who are on a fat loss journey. And so I want to just talk about what is the difference between being in the fat loss phase and being in maintenance, for example. So maintenance is when you are, just trying to keep your current physique. Same weight, same amount of muscle, like you're just trying to stay the same, right? So this is usually for most people kind of a lax period where you have a little bit more flexibility. You still have to have, let me say this, in order to maintain a physique that you have earned, meaning you've already lost weight to get there, you have to still maintain the consistency in your basic daily habits. So you still have to drink your water. You still have to eat healthy foods. You still have to hit a protein goal. You still have to weight train. You still have to get your steps up. These core elements that we use for fat loss are also part of maintenance. Just because you get to where you want doesn't mean that, it's free for all. You're done with all the things you've been working at and you just go back to whatever the heck you want. If you actually want to keep the physique that you have earned and that you've made with your progress, some of those habits have to be maintained. And that's why it's called maintenance. It's not just a free-for-all. So keep that in mind. Once we get to the finish line, it's not the finish line. And that's where a lot of our coaching, we really focus on the sustainable habits. These are things that we have to do forever, for the rest of our lives. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. If you want to stay fit and you want to stay healthy, you're going to have those skills, those habits in your lifestyle every single day, forever. And so keep that in mind, the main habits, the basics, right? Those are forever. So as we're building this pattern and we're working on this as coaching and we're starting to implement those things, you need to put this in the frame of your mind. This isn't for fat loss, although yes, it will help with that. This is for lifestyle. This is for maintenance. This is how I have to behave. This is the type of person I have to become in order to not only earn the body that I want, but then also be able to maintain it and keep it for the long term. Because if you don't get into that frame of mind, what's going to happen is you're going to hit your goal. You're going to give up on those habits. You're going to stop doing the things that we've been teaching you, and you're going to get right back to where you started. You're going to gain the weight back. And this is what happens with many, many people. And, it's kind of part of that yo-yo habit thing where lose the weight, gain it back, lose the weight, gain it back. We don't want to do that. And so you have to know that maintenance is work also. Now, that being said, it doesn't have to be as strict. You don't have to be in a calorie deficit. You can have more freedom in your workouts. And so those things are kind of nice because even though you're still doing the habits, they're not as intense. Now let's talk about fat loss, because fat loss is a time of sacrifice. And I want to be really honest about this, because a lot of times we talk about you don't want to be too extreme. We don't want to overdo it, which is true. We don't want to be so extreme and so regimented and so strict with things that you lose interest and that you aren't able to keep it going to make your progress. But let me be 100% transparent. In a fat loss phase, there is going to be sacrifice. There are going to be moments that are very, very hard. There's going to be times when you don't want to do your workouts, but you have to. You make the sacrifice for the time. You make the sacrifice for the energy. There's going to be times when you're not feeling full of energy to go and get your cardio in or get your steps up. If you want to lose weight and you want to be in your fat loss phase, you have to sacrifice that feeling of I don't want to do it or I'm too tired and do it anyway. Okay. Also with your nutrition, you have to make the sacrifice of I'm not going to eat certain things because it's not going to get me the progress that I want. Also, if you're in a calorie deficit, I'm sorry, but you probably will be hungry. Even when we're focusing on protein, even when we're getting fiber, even when we're trying to eat as much food as possible, if you're really in a calorie deficit and your body is burning more energy than you're putting in, part of that is hunger. You might feel hungry, and you have to understand that, yes, that is part of the process, and it's a sacrifice that you're willing to make in order to get to your goal. And so, I think for a lot of people, getting in the mindset of being willing to make that sacrifice for the goal, they aren't willing to do it. They just, some people just won't do it. And I mean, we've had plenty of clients who have started the journey, who have said that they want to do it, but who aren't willing to make the sacrifice and who aren't willing to be uncomfortable and do the hard things because they just don't have enough of a priority to it. If you really want to see your progress and get your fat loss going, be prepared that it's going to be uncomfortable. And I wish I could say there's an easy way out, but there just flat out isn't. Yes, there are some things that can help you to make it easier for you as you go through the process, and that's what we're here to help you with, to make it as comfortable as possible. But get ready. Be prepared. If you are in a calorie deficit and your goal is fat loss, you're going to have to do more than you want to with your exercise, with your activity. You're going to have to eat less than you probably want to. You're going to have to actually eat the balance of nutrition that is recommended. And for a lot of people, it's like we're dealing with metabolism too. So we're trying to get that body ready to burn energy. And if you are in a place where your body's not ready to burn energy, there's a lot of work that you have to do, and you have to be consistent. You have to make the sacrifice to choose that, to hit your macros over, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, I just want this thing right now. And you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. So whichever side you're at, whether you're in the fat loss phase or you're in your maintenance phase, remember that there's still work involved. We love you. We are here to support you. We all know it's freaking hard sometimes. But also, you know what else we know? You absolutely can do it. And we've had plenty of experience ourselves, experience with clients, of getting through that initial holdup where you're like standing in your own way, and getting past that, getting out of your way and doing the solid work that's going to get you that result. So you can do it. I know you can. You can do the hard things. You can make the sacrifice. Step up, take ownership, get uncomfortable, and work, because once you get to that maintenance phase and you've got those skills and those habits in place, it feels like such a breeze, and it's a lifetime of feeling good, feeling confident, and keeping those healthy habits going. So I'll check in with you guys later.